There it is. Facebook Live video. And there that is. All right. Podcast Live audio. All right. Facebook Live video, podcast live audio. WineCellarMedia.com. And things are broken, so break them.
In Father Teresa's Wine Cellar, we believe all oppression is intersectional. And this means our analysis of current events frequently includes discussion of difficult and explicit content. Any combination of the following topics could be included in our show: murder, rape, war, climate change, racism, sexism, violence, sexual violence, homophobic violence, heterocentrism, discrimination and abuse against individuals of nonconformist sexuality, domestic violence, child abuse, child rape, child neglect, elderly abuse, verbal abuse, police brutality, microaggressions, ableism, cyberbullying, genital mutilation, ideological extremism, and people just being total fucking assholes.
But I still don't have an all right. I can't just... hi. All right. I don't have an all right to open the show. Anyways, welcome to the Wine Cellar. Obviously, we're prepared and we know what we're doing because we are fucking professionals, people. Professionals. All right, so while William is sharing around links, I have some headlines, a little bit of news. Today, in the world of responsible gun owners, an Indiana man is charged after a boy finds and fires a gun inside of an IKEA. In Fishers, Indiana, a suburban Indianapolis man was accused of dropping a loaded handgun in an IKEA store that was then found and fired by a child. Francis T. Wright of Canby was charged with 1 count of criminal recklessness committed with a deadly weapon. He faces a July 11th hearing. They say that he dropped the weapon out of his pants pocket because good gun owners keep guns just in their pants pocket that will fall out when you sit on a sofa. A 6-year-old boy fired the gun and found the gun, fired it, but nobody was injured. Well... also, IKEA would like to remind everybody that they have a no weapons policy in their store. Good to know responsible gun owners are doing their thing. A Japanese blogger was stabbed to death, allegedly by an online harasser with a grudge. Sunday night, I'm going to try to say it, Kenichiro Okamoto held a seminar about writing on the internet. During the event, he offered tips on how to get traffic as well as how to deal with blog trouble. After the seminar, he went to use the bathroom and was stabbed to death by an assailant. The 42-year-old man, Hidemitsu Matsumoto, later turned himself in, saying he held a grudge against Okamoto because of their online exchanges and decided to kill him. Prior to the arrest, Okamoto posted that he planned to surrender and take responsibility for the crime. He had often clashed with Okamoto online and had 216 aliases he harassed him with. Okay. All right. So I guess the moral of the story here is sometimes trolls aren't just trolls, and sometimes you can't just ignore them. Sometimes they're real-life people with really bad, malicious, real-life intentions. So, maybe stop telling people, just get over it. It's the internet. They might come and stab you in a conference hall, in a bathroom. You never know. Let's see. This is a New York story. # good cops. NYPD officer Sasha Cordoba, age 35, is thrown in jail for 2 months, only 2 months, after copping Wednesday to a perjury charge and an official misconduct charge for lying about a gun bust in Washington Heights. Cordoba falsely claimed she saw a 38-year-old suspect threaten another man with a gun. In reality, she admitted they got the tip from an informant that the person that they ended up shooting had a firearm in a nearby apartment, and they entered without a warrant to seize it. Cordoba lied to prosecutors and in official documents before a grand jury, admitted this to Manhattan Supreme Court Justice Melissa Jackson Wednesday. Jackson only sentenced her to 60 days behind bars in exchange for her guilty plea. Cordoba was immediately taken into custody and hauled off. Oh, and she might not get fired because it wasn't a felony. It was a misdemeanor, I guess. All right. That's good. They investigated themselves and found out that they did nothing wrong. That's excellent. And what is being called a major victory for the only school in the country that uses electric shocks on disabled students. That doesn't sound good. A Bristol County probate and family court judge has sided with the Judge Rotenberg Center in Canton, allowing the school to continue administering electric skin shocks. The administration tried to put a stop to the practice, which is known as aversive treatment, in 2013, months after a video surfaced of 18-year-old Andre McCollins receiving dozens of electric skin shocks at the center. But the judge denied the motion. Catherine Field is her name. Denied the motion, saying that they needed more evidence. The state failed to demonstrate there is a professional consensus that aversive treatment does not conform to accepted standards of treating individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. So basically, the judge said there's not enough proof that enough professionals think it's bad to shock disabled children. Therefore, shock the disabled children. All right. At the center, there are 58 students who have been approved to receive electric skin shocks as of August 2017. Okay, well, don't leave your kids there. Yeah. Also today, in what's going to be a good cop story tomorrow, feds have begun removing protesters in Portland. There's a huge Occupy ICE protest happening right now, and police and ICE officials have showed up, masked up, and in riot gear. They are removing protesters and carrying batons. So I think we know what's going to happen here. Once we get the name and link to the bail fund, we will post it. Yeah. All right. What else do I have in here? This is a hilarious story. I'm going to save that one for William because it's a Florida man story. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's all William. And then we have the Ohio bill. Oh, you know what? There's a story from yesterday that I didn't have time to get to. Let me pull that up real quick. This was in Abu Dhabi. I think we mentioned this was a sex worker rights story. A man allegedly murdered 5 people in a massage parlor in Abu Dhabi after he came to know that another man, this is actually the Khaleej Times news source, after finding out that a man had paid for sex with his girlfriend, an Abu Dhabi court has heard. After stabbing that man to death who had sex with his girlfriend, the defendant went on to allegedly attack and murder 4 other women at the parlor. As you can guess, this was a sex worker situation. This was a massage parlor where sexual services were being offered to clients. The parlor was in an industrial area, reportedly being used as a, quote, prostitution den by the defendant and 8 others, and the incident took place earlier this year. The court heard the first instance of the Bangladeshi man using a kitchen knife to murder the victim after coming to know he was having sex with his lover. 8 other men who knew about the murder but protected their friend by not reporting him were also charged in the case. So imagine that. A guy finds out that his girlfriend is a sex worker, kills her most recent client, kills her coworkers, and his friends are like, nah, we'll help you cover that shit up, B. You know, yeah. Patriarchy. It's fucking amazing. Official courts stated that the Bangladeshi man entered the massage parlor and found the Asian victim. As his girlfriend was in another room with 4 other women, the man asked the victim if he was having sex with his girlfriend. When he said yes, the defendant stabbed him several times until he died. After that, the defendant went on to attack 4 other women. He went on to attack 4 other women because they had let his girlfriend have sex with other men. What the fuck were they supposed to do? First of all, they're all working. Secondly, you can't tell someone you can't have sex with them. You can't stop. Autonomy. Fucking autonomy. It's a thing. All right. Yeah, I think that's that whole story. So that's what's going on with sex workers. That's what happens. And this is why you should never out a sex worker without explicit permission, because you can get them killed or get their coworkers killed or get their place of business shut down. So that's what's happening there.
All right.
Yeah.
You're in there?
I'm in there.
And coming up this Sunday, I should be recording with the folks over there at, I think it's called Mocha Minutes with Stephanie Sunshine, also a Williams. With Stephanie Sunshine at Mocha Minutes, recapping the the entire season, potentially with a panel of RuPaul's Drag Race, this most recent season that aired 2018, recorded 2017. And that should be a fair deal. And this episode is another one of those conspiracy episodes where I didn't have time to make an event, so I couldn't make the event and then just invite everybody from a group on it, which means I'm secretly trying to keep people out of it. I don't know if you folks knew that. That's the kind of thing I do. I'm very conspiratorial like that. There's Dora Loco over in the joint. There's Trey Ray. There's Rachel Loco. There's Lusa Pera up in the joint. All right. I think I want to get goofy first. I don't know why. Typically, I want to, because, you see the episode. The episode title is The Man Who Hates Trans Children. Yes. And we're going to get to Thomas Brinkman. All right. Don't doubt that. We'll get to Thomas Brinkman. But right now, I think it's time for a little white-on-white crime. A little undue. A little late in the game, white-on-white crime.
What?
It's supposed to be white-on-white crime. That's supposed to be around there on Wednesday. But we haven't been keeping up with our days much good. But, man, don't you look silly like that there. And this one came from them niggas over at Redneck Revolt. I'm fairly flippant with my in-wordery. So them niggas over at...
Embroidery, all right.
Embroidery. All right. Now, I don't typically frack with the Raw story, but they did their thing. Typically, I'll go with the Raw story so I can find where they link to the actual journalist. It's kind of like the same thing with theroot.com. Mm-hmm. Fuck The Root. Them niggas, they're corny. I go to the actual journalist link. All right, so it's neo-Nazi time. Okay? So what some folks might refer to as a prominent white national fire involved in a salacious affair with another white. The cats are out there doing stuff. No.
Jamal's in the bedroom.
Yeah, Jamal's not as bad as the kid. No, whichever bad Killmonger. Killmonger is a bad kid. Oh my God, as far as the cats go.
Well, you did name him fucking Killmonger.
I fucking named him Killmonger. God damn. And light-skinned Killmonger's the good one. It's the worst irony of all times.
You mean Mace?
Yes, you renamed him Maze. You like Karn? What's your deal? Mace
Windu. Star Wars.
Yeah, I like Inspector Gadget too. It's all fun. So, so this white national fire was doing the nasty, dirty sex with another white national fire's wife.
Oh.
And is out of jail and quitting politics. That's right. They were doing nasty fornication. He would smack my butt cheeks with a fly swatter. Not that one, the one you just used a couple minutes ago. I want it to be juicy.
Ew.
I want to feel the wings still flapping. It didn't die on.
That is disgusting.
It's a perforated fly swatter. You just kind of crushed his head a little bit. I just want to feel the wings flapping up against my booty hairs.
Problems.
What? A white man can't enjoy fly wings flapping on his booty hairs? That's why the white man doesn't have rights. These are the facts.
What?
These are the facts, people. See, Dora Loco gets it, light-skinned Killmonger. Jan Loco understands. Does everybody else agree that the white man deserves to feel the wings of a housefly flapping on his booty hairs?
Y'all niggas better say no. Do not condone this foolishness.
Trey Ray's on. Trey Ray is with it. Hey,
y'all niggas.
His name is Matthew Heimbach. And he led a neo-Nazi group called the Traditionalist Workers' Party until this past March, when he got himself arrested for a domestic disturbance involving his wife, his stepfather-in-law, his stepfather-in-law's wife. Heimbach cuckolded his stepfather-in-law.
Oh my God, they're cucks for real.
Matthew Perot, Parrott, who later confronted him at a trailer. The fact that we're laughing at this, we can admit that we're classist, and we're going to work that out on our own with our beverage of choice. Okay, we're all going to do that. Let's fucking
we're gonna work it out with some $10 champagne.
Let's hey, group therapy
I'm gonna
the introvert way.
I'm gonna be classes with my $10 champagne. It's not even because it's the class. It's just because it's like literally every fucking stereotype, every single one.
Yeah, the last word of the paragraph didn't have to be trailer. That wasn't nice.
It did. It had to give you the full context. It's like some weird incestual. There's cucks happening. It's in a trailer. It's domestically violent. Like every stereotype.
Mr. Perot told the police. Keep in mind, Perot is the stepfather-in-law. All right. There's a lot of titles here. A lot of very prestigious family. This is the royal family. You understand that. Perot told police that Mr. Heimbach choked him out after he confronted him over the affair. Quote, he grabbed and injured my hand, and I poked his chest, and then he choked me out with his arm, and then he chased me to my home and did it again. If you were legitimately choked out, what was you doing up running? We need to all agree on how to use what words.
Get you a white supremacist who can do both.
Get you, man.
It's because he was surrounded by white people and there weren't any Negroes to breathe up his air. He could get up quicker. Shut the fuck up.
That's right. When the white man has pure air, he's the real Usain Bolt.
They don't need fast twitch muscles. They just need air. Yes.
Trey Ray we talking about stereotypes. We are not talking about stereotypes. We are being very even-handed right now.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
What?
What?
After the police fellers arrived, Mr. Heimbach. Are you ready for this sentence?
Yes.
Keep in mind the first words of the sentence are after the police arrived.
Yes.
After the police arrived, Heimbach beat up his own wife in front of the couple's two young sons.
What?
This is after the police. Like, the police are
there.
Wait,
hold on.
Yeah.
So, wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
Enjoy yourself.
Okay. So,
you're being gaslit by logic.
The guy slept with his stepfather's wife.
Hell yeah, man.
And then choked out his stepfather.
Why not?
Twice.
Sure.
Somehow. At the trailer.
It's fun.
And then, no, actually choked him out. Chased him from the trailer. Choked him out again. Then they called the cops. And then the cops showed up. And then the stepfather beat up the wife?
Yeah, he wanted to show the cops.
What in the Jerry Springer is happening?
He did the opposite version of that Brantley Gilbert song. That read me my rights, put me in cuffs. You realize that song is about stopping men from hitting women, sir. Sir.
I don't know what's happening.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. He said, how you beat your wife for, oh man, there's a crack in the screen because boys exist. He said, how do you beat your wife after the people come for your ass? You know that's a brother right there. He called the police the people. I like that kind of talk. Now, Perot, for his part, has given up on the neo-Nazi group. Quote, I've decisively failed at my original mission, which was to be a voice for the working class white folks, and ended up in the middle of the most humiliating white trash spectacle of the year. I could not have possibly done a worse job with my original plan, and I give up. That's not the funnest thing.
I feel like I should have been wearing a dashiki for that.
Well, there's fucking 6 right there you can choose from. Shit is ridiculous. Well, fucking stretch them out. I don't think they stretch.
They don't stretch.
Milo Yiannopoulos is it's that corny shit he does where they're basically whack ass comedians, as all these fuckers are. And he's basically, whenever a journalist asks him about some shit, he just says he hopes that vigilantes start shooting all the journalists.
Yeah,
which
is like typical Milo.
He's
like really,
dork. He's such a fucking dweeb. All right, let's go over here.
Yes,
a judge, and this is
I just did that one.
Wait, in the
headlines, yeah.
In WCVB 5, a subsidiary of the ABC network. All right, the judge sides with a school that uses electrified shocks on its students. Can you dig it?
IVE investigates a major victory for the only school in the country that uses painful electric shocks on its disabled students.
That's right. Mike Bodette has been covering this controversy for years. He's here with details about a new court decision in this. Mike.
Yeah, Ben, a Bristol County judge has sided with the Judge Rotenberg Center in Canton, allowing the school to continue using electric shocks on its students. And tonight, a parents group at the school is welcoming that decision, saying the state tried unsuccessfully to discredit the school.
I don't have freedom unless you can electrify my kid.
It's like...
But tell you, white parents do not give a fuck about white children.
Well, I mean,
Sandy
also these are disabled kids, so they really don't.
Oh, say word.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this? I didn't even know this was an ableism story.
Yeah, because their whole thing is like that's the only way you can stop them from doing what you don't want them to do. It's kind of like when you put like a shock collar on a dog so it doesn't bark. That's what they're doing to their kids.
Jesus fuck. All right. Fucking sick. And they called it a victory for the school.
Yeah.
The school education won this time, folks. Electrify disabled children. We win.
Yes.
Welcome to it. But Donald Trump is the problem.
He is the problem. The school didn't open until he won the election.
Everything wrong with McMurica started with Donald Trump.
It did.
All the problems.
Like the KKK didn't even exist until last year.
I mean, if niggas even want to keep it partisan, like I was born with Reaganomics in the air. You were too.
Yeah.
That nigga got in 1980, fathermuckers. All right? Let's get down. Let's see these fuckers here.
Following directions to take your jacket off.
Okay, that's footage from the school. So you're not following directions to take your jacket off, and then what happens? Holy fuck! They're like, this motherfucker like has his fucking left hand holding the kid like, I don't know if that's upper back or back of the neck, and then he has his fucking right hand with like a taser to the upper chest or like the front of the throat section. I'm not very medical-fied with my terminologies. Holy shit.
Controversial treatment will continue at the Judge Rotenberg Center.
There's like 4 people holding the kid down.
Like a group came up. Like, are these all people that just couldn't pass police academy?
That's kind of what it fucking looks like.
Jesus balls.
In Canton, at least for now. In 2013, soon after this video became public, former Governor Deval Patrick's administration tried to put a stop to this practice known as an aversive treatment.
I just want to note that because we don't have Wine Cellar video up with this, that was a black man that was that they showed.
Yes.
So you get black people in office and they'll let us do whatever we want to do that's good.
But a judge.
And this is a black man trying to save white children. White people won't even let black people save white children.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just denied the motion, saying the state failed to demonstrate that there is now a professional consensus that the level 3 aversive treatment used at JRC does not conform to the accepted standard of care for treating individuals with intellectual and developmental disability.
Ain't no professionals say they don't dig it.
But peep how they start out the story though. This is the only school in the country that does it. If this was such a popular treatment, why is this the only school that does it? There are thousands of countries or schools in the country for disabled children. Why is this the only one who engages in this treatment if this is a normal standard of behavior? It's fucking horrible.
Folks, what would Emperor William do?
We know what you would do, nigga.
Fucking hold those adults down and shock them to death. Fucking use my crescent wrench.
Crescent wrench.
Yeah, crescent wrench. Fucking put that shit on the fucking on the flappy back and skin of the back of their neck. Squeeze that shit down. That's how I'm gonna hold them.
Okay.
And shock them to fucking death.
Obviously, it's controversial.
Governor Baker's Health and Human Service.
Hey, obviously it's controversial. Hey, everybody has opinions are like assholes, and well, we're like opinions in that sense.
Secretary Mary Lou Sutters says the state must now decide whether to appeal. Do you think they should be continuing to use them?
So what we know is that the use of positive reinforcement.
My nigga, that was a yes or no question like a motherfucker. Let's get out a head start. Let's get out a running start. This is the motherfucker. I hope there's not black children in there. This is the face of the white woman putting your ass.
Actually, I was scared that the one that they were shocking was a black kid because that child's name is Andre, I believe.
The face looked pretty pale.
Okay.
Yeah, look pretty pale. Might be light-skinned-ified, though. And which to some of these niggas, that's not black. So neither's Obama. All right, here we go.
Think they should be continuing to use them?
So what we know is that the use of positive reinforcement is generally accepted practice for a very small number of individuals with very extreme behaviors.
No, she said extreme behaviors, but the kid didn't take off their goddamn coat. They weren't fucking running through the hall with scissors stabbing people. They didn't take off their coat. That is an extreme behavior that warrants being shocked, like with a fucking cattle prod or whatever the fuck they're using.
Now, everybody paying attention. You see how Bernie bros do misinformation. Because this Bernie bro just said take off their coat when they clearly said take off your jacket. See? You can't trust these fucking Bernie bros, brother.
Right.
Because they're working with Trump, too. It's plausible. All right.
The Baker administration more open to this than the Patrick administration?
It's not about whether we're more open or not. What is important is that the Commonwealth, when there is a consent decree, that we ensure we do everything possible, right, to comply with the court order.
This is why we have a trigger warning at the beginning of the program. So I'm listening to this motherfucker talk, and I'm looking at her goddamn face. That's the nun that turns her back and faces the wall while the fucking priest rapes the child.
Yeah.
That's who the fuck she is.
Speaking of which, a bunch of bishops just retired over another sex scandal in the church.
It's retired to getting their pension, huh?
Probably so.
Hey, get that Jesus pension. Hey, if you're Catholic and you go to the Catholic Church, how do you feel about the fact that you're funding that? Nah, fuck how do you feel. What do you think about the fact that you're funding that? Like, you like that you get up, you go to work, you bust your fucking keister, you go in there on Sunday, they tap your forehead, give you a little grape juice.
They give you wine.
Welch's, wine.
They give you good shit, actually, at church.
All Catholic churches?
Yeah.
All the single churches?
All the single churches.
All right. But what do you think about the fact that you're funding that?
Oh, don't worry. They already have a built-in excuse.
What is it?
Oh, that it's okay because you went in with good intentions and it's not your fault that the priest or bishop or cardinal, whoever, is a fucking either a pedophile who raped children or somebody who condones raping children because you had good intentions, so it really doesn't matter because you did your job. They just didn't do theirs.
All right. Emperor William got something for you and the priest. Finish up this news clip.
Earlier this month, protesters gathered outside the Judge Rotenberg Center, where nearly 60 students are approved to receive electric skin shocks. They're calling on the Food and Drug Administration to act on its 2016 proposal to ban the electric shock devices.
Absolutely, this is torture.
The FDA says it's reviewing comments on the proposed ban.
Yeah, and that's all the words the protesters got to say. Absolutely. This is 4 words. They didn't even get a whole hand of fingers worth of words.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
And that decision could still put an end to the electric shocks. As for the Massachusetts ruling, we should know in the next 30 days whether the state will appeal the judge's decision. Mike Bodette, 5 Investigates.
I can't imagine shocking a child like that and listening to them scream because they didn't take a fucking coat off. I can't.
Jacket.
The level of sadism is not in me, man. Oh, there's comments happening.
Oh, shit. How many comments are running up on the joint? There's Theo Loco from the Twitter Face Booze. Doop-a-doop-doop. Yeah, there's J May said, "Love y'all knuckles." That's how J May talks. Do. What in the Jerry Springer is happening? Talking about the white supremacists just having a good old time. And Theo, how does this not consider child abuse? The fuck is going on? I tell you, I've said a long time ago, way back before I even met Phoenix Calida, and these aren't even rural white people, right? This is probably like a regular sized town.
Yeah.
But I'm like, yo, rural white people shouldn't be allowed to be rural anymore. I said on a very old episode of a show I used to do called Queen's English. Theo also said that should have been a straight no answer. Shaking my mucking head. Rebecca Loco up in the joint said, "Oh, it's just extreme behavior." And Jan Loco said, "The same people are against abortion because beating heart."
Yeah.
Well, they're beating heart liberals, ma'am. Indeedly do, neighbor. All right. Now I wish I had more time for more show prep on this, but this is the one that I titled it for. An Ohio bill would charge therapists with a felony if they don't out trans kids to their parents. And the link to this website, I want to find out how I can, if these folks have privately owned social media network pages of some sort. The website is called them.us. And it's basically like for trans, non-binary niggas and the whole shit, you know? And we link to them from our website. So if you're on our shit, you can link to these folks over at them and see what they're doing, cracking over there. So they have an Ohio bill that would charge therapists with a felony if they don't out their trans kids to their parents. All right, now I have the glaucoma, so I gotta blow this the hell on up here. I'll tell you what. All right, now, no, what the hell done gone to? Oh, it's a privacy cookie agreement. All right, so a bill introduced in May by two McPublican legislators in Ohio aims to tighten parental control over transgender children and teens who seek mental health and medical care, even if the kids suffer as a result. The Ohio House Bill 658 would turn school employees, psychologists, and social workers into spies of a sort. The legislation mandates that they disclose to parents if a minor approaches them with questions about gender identity or seeks mental health care for gender dysphoria. And if they don't inform the child's parents, regardless of concern for the safety or well-being of the child, they would face felony charges. Now, this is a quote, from within the House Bill 658. The quote is, no government agent or entity shall purposely or knowingly authorize or provide gender dysphoria treatment for a child without the written informed consent of each of the child's parents and the child's guardian or custodian, as required in section 2131.144 of the revised code. A violation of this section is gender dysphoria treatment without parental consent, a felony of the 4th degree. Now, I ain't no law talking feller, but I assume that would probably give you some sort of criminal record.
A criminal record and at least 1 year in a prison, not a jail.
In which, sadly enough, we'll be covering your story in our rape culture segments.
Right.
Representative Thomas Brinkman, the legislation's primary sponsor, told Ohio's news outlet WKSU, and there's a link to that through the them.us website, that the bill was inspired by a single court case in which a Cincinnati juvenile court judge gave custody of a 17-year-old trans boy over to his grandparents because his parents refused to support his gender identity and tried to place him in Mike Pence therapy conversion. But Aaron Upchurch, which is quite the name to have, Aaron Upchurch, that's her name. executive director of the Kaleidoscope Youth Center in Columbus, says the LGBTQ plus youth that access Kaleidoscope's services could be harmed by the prospective law.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Like, just the... Like,
Yeah.
they're not wrong, but just the way it's written, it's like, so now let's get to the other side. This could potentially harm trans children. Nigga, the case it was based on was they tried to force their child into conversion therapy against their will. No fucking shit, it's gonna hurt these kids. What the fuck? Like, this isn't a, maybe it'll be a bad thing. It's like, nigga, this is fucking terrible.
And we'll see how well being civil works out.
Ugh.
This is a quote from Aaron Upchurch. Every medical and psychological association agrees that transition-related care is medically necessary. Making sure that this stays between doctors